Biggie Smalls was killed 6 months later.
Yeah, right.
And I think, and in a crowded area after a party, a gun, in a car-to-car shooting, and the shooter gets away. I think that whoever killed Tupac wanted Biggie Smalls' murder to look like it was related.
Right, okay.
Biggie Smalls' murder could have been just to, try to throw off the scent on Tupac's murder.
Yeah, right, okay.
And I think that's the only way those murders are related.
Yeah.
Because whoever did it wanted it to look like it. I think, honest to God, I think he was just killed to get people off of the Tupac investigation. To throw a monkey wrench into it and throw them off the trail.
Suge Knight said in an interview when he was asked if he knew who killed Tupac, would he tell him? He said absolutely not.
Right.
Blah blah blah. Do you think that Suge Knight could have been saying, "Hey, look," because Orlando Anderson obviously is watching that interview, no doubt about it.
Oh, sure.
So do you think that Suge Knight was basically saying, "Hey, listen, Anderson, I'm not snitching on you right now, and I know you did it, so you better not snitch on me next week"? Do you think that's a possible theory of why?
Oh, sure. I mean, his own bodyguards were afraid of him. So,
yeah,
sure. I mean, I'm sure Suge Knight was, he put the fear of God in people.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure Orlando was afraid of him. I mean, Orlando kind of went into hiding afterward. He was on TV practically begging, looking mild and meek and.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and by the way, here's a car. I mean, I don't think it was ever shown. I mean, he wasn't working. Where did he get the car? I mean, he was just a little Crips member, and he was third generation, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, so I mean, they don't have a lot of money. They're just hand to mouth like the rest of the world, really.
Right.
That's just how they make their living. If you're at that level, he's not running the.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I mean, he's just hand-to-man. He's just a mouth. He's just a working stiff. So, where'd he get that kind of money to go buy a big SUV?
Do you know if Afeni Shakur, do you know what she thinks about who killed her son?
She doesn't care.
You don't think she cares?
No, she doesn't care. I know she doesn't. I talked to her attorney. I talked to her assistant. I talked to her niece.
Why? Why do you think she doesn't care?
She's more about because it wouldn't bring him back. He's dead. She lost him. Her thinking, she's a lot different from Violetta Wallace. Violetta Wallace wants justice for her son. What Afeni Shakur wants is her son to be remembered for the work that he did and the contribution that he made and the essence of who he was. And she doesn't want to get mired into all of that. It won't bring her son back. Over that. I mean, she did have to threaten a suit with him, or did she file? I think she filed, didn't she?
Yeah.
To get her son's, whereas Violetta Wallace, Biggie Smalls was married, and he had the divorce papers, and he hadn't filed them yet.
Oh. Ooh.
So Faith Evans owned everything, 50% with Tom Combs.
Yeah.
And you know that Faith Evans, I mean, she's a very big person because she gave half to Violetta Wallace without her. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Legally, she didn't have to do a thing.
There's a lot of people that I talk to who are almost begging you to come out with a part 2 to the Biggie Smalls book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, they want to? Okay.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, I could do that.
People, everyone I talk to who mentions you, and there's dozens of them, they always ask, they would rather have a part 2 to the murder of Biggie Smalls than a part 3 to the killing of Tupac. And these are big Tupac fans saying that. Well, it's because so much stuff has happened since Biggie's. Not that much stuff really has happened with Tupac.
Well,
a lot of stuff has
come out with something that hasn't come out yet. And it's going to be big.
Okay.
There's one piece of the puzzle that I just learned, and
so please, definitely tell us all when these books are coming out, because we want to know.
Well, this is just what it is it's an addendum to the Tupac book, and so it's not. I mean, I'm working on it now. It's not going to take me much longer to fix it.
Good. Yeah.
Finish it, but because it's not a rewrite, it's an addendum. There may be a few things inside the book that change, but biggest thing is the addendum, and that's where the big news is going to come from.
Good.
If it is big, it changes the whole scenario of who you believe did it.
Okay, good.
And with the Biggie case, though, no, it is out of date. So, yeah, I'd love to do it.
I'm looking at the inside cover. The murder of Biggie Smalls, it was 2000, so it's been about 9 years.
Yeah.
And as you know, the 2005 trial happened since then, and a lot of stuff came out.
A lot of information came out, and
yeah.
the whole, you know, one of the really interesting things in the Biggie Smalls case is, and I don't know if it was just sort of a mess up by the LAPD or, you know, I mean, you had Russell Poole in there who was on the case for 5 minutes, and you had, you know, every time I turn around, I mean, I went to Parker Center,
yeah,
you know, to the headquarters and interviewed the homicide guys, and every time I turn around, there's another cop on the case. Well, the Stephen Berman case, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's like rotating chairs. They're either retired or they've moved on, and then somebody else has to get up to speed on it, and they're not really into it. You know, they don't have a passion to solve it. But the interesting thing in that case were the two composite sketches.
Yeah, I'm looking at two right now in the picture section of your book.
Okay, what is the date? That to me was one of the most interesting things.
Yeah.
Because those two people don't look anything alike.
Right, yeah. One was...
I believe it's the skinny one. I don't believe it's the heavier one.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says the second composite sketch of the suspect wasn't released to the media until December of '99, 2.5 years after the murder. Whereas the first one...
They did it because it was added that that was the one that was supposed to come out. And instead, they had an artist do that one, and they released that one instead. I mean, why? It didn't make sense. And you I mean, were they too trying to throw him off the trail? Was somebody within the police department trying to... I mean, you've got the Inglewood Police Department in a car.
Yeah.
When it happens, right? I mean, it's very similar to Tupac's.
Yeah.
And again, I believe that that Biggie's murder was done to throw off and make it look as if they were two. It was in retaliation, and it was all the East Coast, West Coast hype, which was a bunch of bunk.
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah.
It was all media hype, and the record company hype to sell records. But so you've got Inglewood cops in a car, right?
Yeah.
And murder takes place. They follow the car and they lose them. Well, what if cops learn first how to do street pursuits? And they're really, really good at them.
Right.
And they lost the shooter. I find that, and, you know, each of those guys were suspended afterward by the Inglewood Police Department.
Right. One last question. Geez, let me look at the time. It goes by so quick because talking about something so good. It seems like only about 15 minutes.
I hope I didn't jump all over the map.
No, absolutely not. Just one